So, yes, we all want to be eco-conscious, and I think it's important because I think it's important to consider, where all the items we use, what happens to them after we finish using them. They are going to end up in a landfill. Are they going to be reused in some other ways? They are going to be recycled. And I think that it's something that we definitely should all be conscious about. When it comes to bags, for example, we had a company who is very much into eco items, custom branded merch that is eco-friendly. And they contacted us and they wanted to get a certain type of bags which were made out of cotton. And the idea being that if it's made out of cotton, then of course it's going to be less polluting. Now, we suggested other options because their budget was very limited. But then they came back to us and said, you know what, no, this is a plastic, plastic type or plastic origin, and we're not interested, and they ended up going somewhere else with some other company. And so that prompted us to look into things a little bit because, I'm personally very health conscious, and you hear so often about organic this, organic that, but then there's a whole nother bag of information that we think we have, but until we dig deeper and realize. And so we look at the different options and the stats on the different options. So now looking at regular cotton, conventional cotton, nice thing about it, it's natural, it's biodegradable. But to make the bags, it takes a huge amount of water. Cotton tends to be heavily pesticided, and a lot of CO2 is delivered into the atmosphere while creating those bags. To offset a plastic bag, it would take a cotton bag. It would need to be used over 7,000 times to offset a plastic bag, the durability and the creation of the plastic bag. So much for conventional cotton. Now, organic cotton, no synthetic, no pesticide, hopefully. And again, when it comes to organic, you have to look deeper, and usually supports better soil health, but still a lot of water being used. And there's a difference actually between conventional cotton and organic, where it would take 2,000 uses in order to offset the plastic bags. And then you have bamboo, renewable, grows really fast, very chemically, a lot of chemical use in order to actually make them usable, so that they can be used as a bag and flexible enough. And it takes between 1,000 to 2,000 uses to compensate for a plastic bag. And then you have paper, which is actually probably your better option. But of course, it's recyclable, it's compostable. High water, high energy use, believe it or not, because to turn wood into paper takes a lot of work. And only to compare to a plastic bag, we only require 40 uses. And personally, I would feel that, especially now you have very strong paper bags, not just a regular paper, thin paper bag, you toss out, or hopefully we use anyway. We have some very, very strong paper bags. Now, then you have RPET, recycled PET. It's made from post-consumer plastic, which is what PET stands for. It's extremely energy efficient, and it's very, very durable. Not biodegradable, but recyclable. So in other words, you can take the same bag and make another bag out of it. So, and hopefully they follow that process and do that. And to compare to regular plastic bag, just 10 to 20 uses. So by far, along with paper, we feel that the RPET bags are really a much better choice than even organic cotton, bamboo, and definitely more than the regular cotton. And then you have the nonwoven polypropylene. Takes very little to produce, very low energy to produce, very lightweight, extremely durable. not biodegradable, but it's recyclable with, with the right process and the right facility. And compared to a plastic bag, only 10 uses and you've made up the plastic bag. So now you have it. When you hear, oh wow, you're using, recycled plastic bags, and you should be using cotton or bamboo and so on. And some companies will sell to you that way. They'll say, here, this is the eco stuff, and they'll show you the cotton, they'll show you the bamboo. But when you look at the real data, you realize that in the end, the recycled bags, and even the ones that haven't been recycled yet, but are made from certain materials, are actually much, much better. This is Philippe from Florida Costume Merch. Be happy to answer your questions and help you select the bag that's going to work for you the best and create the best results and so on, and is going to be used as much as possible, which is ultimately what we want with the bags. For your own marketing, reasons, you want to make sure your brand is seen as often as possible, which at the same time follows the same goal as trying to be more eco-friendly. Thank you. This is Philippe, 386-400-2666.